Thank you for the follow, Betty Kit. Welcome to Spuddy's stream. We'll be live very soon. Hello everybody and welcome to the Sportiest stream. Nice to see you all here tonight. We've got some incredible Rocket League action as always here to show you. We've got a 1v1 show match start of the night. Hocki versus Cyber. They're on. Involves Skylight taking on 100x FFE. Both these matches actually have X35 esports involved in some way. This first match, you might recognize Hocki being one of the players on 100x team. Not found to taking on Cyber. Got a little 1v1 show match. We haven't had something like this in a little while on this stream, so always fun to see it here. Decided to get involved Skylight, but Evolve Esports organization at 5-0. They got 100x FFV, which is a combination of 135 and Final Form Entertainment. Getting that match. Well, that will be a very fun match that we'll have right after this one. They're gonna first match our 1v1 series here. Hocki and Cyber. It was booked this 1v1 with me a while ago, so I'm super happy and super excited to see it being on here tonight. And we'll hopefully get sorted out as soon as we can. Just getting hopefully we're getting updates on when things will happen. Yeah, and these players, I said teams, these players really, they're joining in. This will be a best of 5 matchup. At least for me, I'm hoping it will be exciting. We'll have to see about that. Again, Hocki, but of a 100x35 team not found. We've seen him on a stream a ton in the past, and we haven't really seen him all that often in 1v1 matches. Generally, we don't see a lot of 100x35 in these 1v1 matches very often. As again, just gonna get these teams in as soon as we can. As again, right after this, we got that best of 5 matchup with Evolve Skylight and 100x FFV. That's a good match as well. That will be hopefully quite competitive. I'm saying if you win, you'll gift free subs. Hey, you don't need to put that kind of pressure on yourself, my guy. My goodness, dude's putting a lot of pressure on himself. We'll see about this. Again, Hocki, but 100x35. Cyber, hopefully again joining in. A kind of fun little match between just people who are friends with each other. I think these guys are going to wait until they join on time. We'll skip goals as well. Because it's a 1v1, we generally skip goals in 1v1 show matches because you guys don't need to see every single goal that goes in. So we're going to skip a lot of stuff. You'll watch the VOD later. Why not, Hocki? Again, good luck in your match, though. Yeah, kind of fun that we got some X35. Get these guys in any moment here, but it seems like these guys are about ready to get things started, which is good, because that means we're going to be on time here, which doesn't always happen with 1v1, fortunately. As, again, just checking to make sure everything's good. As, again, just getting these guys in for this little match. So it kind of start off our night. Always fun when we have show matches. It's, nothing crazy on the line, although it seems like Hocki's already put a bet on himself to win. So we'll see how that works. As again, just checking ping. Good. Actually, we got these guys in the lobby right now. So I say we get this game underway here. A best of 5 1v1 show match. So let's get this in a little series here to start up our night. Hocki will be on the blue, Cyber will be on the orange, and a little 1v1. We haven't had this on the stream in a good amount of time here. Here we go. Hocki part of 100x team not found. And I think 100x 35 purple before that. He's been on the Under X35 org for a while. He worked at I'm partnered with, and the reason why I actually get to stream this match in the first place. Yeah, Cyber it is not, I believe, not on Under X35, but yeah, this is a pretty close matchup. I don't know these guys' exact 1v1 ranks, but I do know Hocki in Freeze is definitely around that GC free ranking. Here against Cyber as he'll go for the dribble on a musty flick from Hocki. Oh, he's already gone for it. Here to start off this game. That's a great start for Hocki. A little musty, actually even a breezy flick potentially on that. A brilliant start for Hocki. This guy's having some fun with it. Oh, what a start. I love that kind of stuff. Hocki already pulling out some classy plays, and we're not even that far in. Now he looks for goal too. But Cyber will keep that shot out. Still, it's Hocki who can challenge more. Cyber waiting. Hocki walking to the nets, but his touch in the midfield will just be given away there, and his bump on Cyber won't make much of a difference. Cyber will look to try to flick this one wide. We can see he's already using that grass boost, which, if you guys don't know what is so interesting about that grass boost, you actually can't see that boost, so a huge advantage actually to have in 1v1s when the boost you're using, not very easy to see. So, Cyber here, deciding to play with that grass boost. I'm assuming he just turned it on today and maybe forgot to turn it off, or maybe he just decided that he wanted to play with this boost, give himself an advantage, which you can't blame him. Players used to do that with the Black Ion boost specifically. Actually, that's the boost that I often use in Rocket League. If I actually played it, that is. The Alpha boost is also known to be quite tough to see at times because it's quite small, and it can even be said about any of the standard boosts. Yeah, the grass boost, pretty famous for not being seeable, as Hocki must not have seen that he was going to challenge there. And Cyber will put in a response. The one tap past Hocki. This game is tied as keep on going here. Only 2 goals haven't been scored. We're, barely even 2 minutes in this thing, so we're seeing maybe not as many goals as maybe I expected initially here, but to be fair, both these sides are kind of taking this slow, not trying too heavily with what they're doing here, and you can't blame them for that. You just sort of slow things down, play relaxed, not overcommit, especially this early on. Hocki off the sidewall, great dribble. He's got control. He'll look for the flip reset, but he's not going to utilize it there. Will be Cyber to collect on that as Hocki still keeping with the ball. Cyber though in control, and he's got a lot he could do here, but he doesn't get the flick, and I mean Hocki's challenge will come through and will keep Cyber away. As right now Hocki playing a game of chase here. He's really just chasing after Cyber for a lot of this game, and you really can't allow yourself to do that in a 1v1 too often. It forces you to have to play a lot more defense, and well, if you know anything about 1v1s, playing a lot of defense is kind of a death sentence in this game mode. So Hocki, he's got to be able to get himself out of that a little bit more easily. Well, Cyber's going to continue to do this to him, where he just dribbles the ball, controls it, beats Hocki in these 50-50s, and doesn't give him space. And Hocki's got to utilize positions like this where he does have space, where he does have room, as he'll look to try to create that quick break, but we'll keep him out. And that second touch from Hocki, just a horrible play there, just to send it right back. And maybe Cyber, who should eventually control this one, Hocki isn't going to challenge him. And so far, Hocki just feels a bit careless on the ball. As a miss there on defense, and Cyber's going to make this a 2-1 lead. Mistake from Hocki, and that could really hurt his chances here in this game. Simply put, he's just playing a bit carelessly with the ball. That's a great challenge from Cyber right off the kickoff. That's going to make this 3-1. If we take a look at Cyber, just look at this. He directs it low. There's so many options he has. He could go high, he could go low. He has so many different places he could take that. And well, I do love that he doesn't hold back from putting that 50-50, really, trusting in himself to get that challenge. Now he'll look for goal number 4. That's just a little wide. Hocki now forced to have to play even more of this keep-up game, and we already saw it. It hasn't really worked so far against Cyber. Well, who's going to say it's going to work now? Fortunately, it's really all that Hocki can do at this point is play quite aggressively. Haven't seen that many goals, and the idea that Hocki's going to get more of them is not fairly easy. Cyber again, just playing control here, just taking full advantage of these heavy clears from Hocki. Again, Hocki with another touch that just gets away from him here, and is just far too often Hocki is just giving this ball away straight to Cyber. And as I said before, you do that, you have to play a lot more defense, and that's just not a thing you can really afford to do here at this level. But Cyber again, he's just winning on these challenges. He'll make this 4-1 if he put that on target, which he hasn't. A follow-up touch, and that will also be wide, but does give Hocki time. He's gonna make a quick attack though, and another giveaway touch here. And Cyber once again will slow him down, and that's should end game 1. The name of the game here for Hocki was just giving the ball away a little too often. That's really gonna allow Cyber to take game 1 here. Hocki, he's gonna have to prevent those kind of giveaway, those heavy touches at this level. And in a 1v1 match like this, it just can't happen. The nice thing is, it's only game 1 in this best of 5 series. There's still a lot more to come. We'll go into game number 2. Right back at it. Our Hocki and Cyber. Hocki, he's gonna have to do a lot more at not giving that ball away, and he's already not off to a very good start, but what a demo! Hocki will remove Cyber. Such a last-ditch effort kind of play. You really don't want to afford to make those, but it does happen in ones. We are forced to do so as a dribble! Hocki! Oh, that's beautiful! Just like in game 1, he starts just scoring off with a beautiful solo effort. Last game was a musty flick, this time it's an air dribble. And, well, I don't think we're going to be at any shortage of fairly nice goals to watch back. If these players are both willing to take those chances. Hocki looking for goal too, but I will keep it out. And this is another great position for a counterattack play, but Hocki again doing well to challenge Cyber. Just recognize that he doesn't need to actually win the ball. Just needs to be able to keep the ball away from Cyber, and he'll be in a good position. As now another solo effort, a flip reset. Hocki to shoot straight on, but Cyber never jumped, and he'll get that save fairly easily. The confidence from Hocki on full display. Now Cyber to bring it back. The dribble, the bump, he doesn't get it, but Hocki will be forced out anyways. And Cyber right back at you, Hocki. The air dribble bump doesn't connect, but he forces Hocki to go up and over the ball. And that will tie this game 2 up. Cyber continuing to continue the offense, but that's a great demo, and that's wide open for Hocki to take the lead again. Gonna be goal 2 for Hocki. Right off the demo. We haven't seen too many of that this series. Definitely didn't see it in game 1, so I see it in game 2. Why not throw in something different, especially for a player like Hocki, who's, right now trying to come back from that game 1 deficit he was in. He's gonna have to do a little better than that, though, as Cyber taking full advantage of that missed touch there from Hocki, where he just jumps off far too early. And again, you can see Hocki is respecting Cyber on these touches, as he should. Cyber is playing very well, and his control is a lot better than that of Hocki's. Again, I just want to see Hocki do better at not hitting that ball away. Although it's pretty tough to not do so when Cyber removes you from the field, and now he'll look for the lead. A shot on from Cyber, and that gets over Hocki. No hesitation. Nobody's stopping Cyber. 2 goals unanswered. The lead is his. That was a fake kickoff from Cyber. Won't get that one to work in his favor. Was trying something a little different there, but Hocki realized, and he'll go to the flip reset. Will stay out. A lot more action here than in game 1. A lot more goals, but still, Cyber's winning just the same. And this point for Hocki. things starting to look a bit more difficult for him. Cyber just feels like he's a lot better when it comes to controlling the ball and where it is, but he won't control that play. He went for the in-and-out save, but maybe a bit rash of a decision there to go for that. So immediately he had time to run around and actually challenge that shot. He just must have expected a bit quicker of a play from Hocki. Be like a second touch off that back wall. But Hocki never had that plan, was not willing to overcommit for it. So often the things that players go for in 2s and 3s, you're just not going to see it in 1v1s because it's so risky. Because they don't trust themselves. The pressure, you know, is a real factor in 1v1 matchups. Especially like these where you're on a stream, where you have a live audience watching your every move, and where you can only blame yourself for your mistakes. So common to see players play quite safe, play quite conservative. It really does come down to just who's going to play a little bit more risky, who's going to push a little bit more, who's going to make the right decisions. And right now it's not Hocki. It's Cyber, winning a lot more of these 50s, races to the ball. He's not slowing down, and he's looking to speed away from Hocki here. Take this second game, put this into match points, and make Hocki work for the series. Knowing that he cannot make any more mistakes, so, you know, for how long these matchups can be, every game really matters, especially momentum-wise, every game really matters. You got off to a good start in the game, so often that dictates how the end of the game's going to go. Still, there's 2 minutes left in this thing, and Hocki looking to bounce back. It's a foot reset. Oh, he's hit the crossbar. He'll go again with a backward shot and try to get the fake on Cyber there, but again, great shot from Cyber to keep his calm and again play one step ahead of Hocki. 1v1 so often is a chess match of decisions, and it really is a lot of it just coming down to the right predictions, knowing what your opponent's going to do, especially on defense. You can predict what your opponent's going to do. You have a huge advantage over them as Cyber there going for that foot reset, but Hocki was ready to challenge high. A lot of chasing here as Cyber go for those demos on Hocki. We haven't seen, again, too much usage of those bumps and demos. But we have seen him worked in game 1 of Cyber. Oh, he just outplayed Hocki there. Hocki slipping in his own backfield. And Cyber will say thank you very much as, I think he just slipped on a banana peel there. Hocki. 3 goals now, now with a little over a minute to go. Things aren't looking very good for him. As for Cyber, just showing that what he did in game 1 is now repeatable here in game 2. Just the same thing. It's smart decisions, or really smarter decisions than Hocki. A lot less giving the ball away, some very solid defense too, but he will beat on that shot. And Hocki's not out of this game. 59 seconds to go. Just needs 2 more goals to tie things up. Cyber has not taken this game just yet, so he better be careful because nothing's secured. And you need another goal or 2 to really solidify this one. Wouldn't be surprised if we see Hocki go all out on some of these offensive chances. I think that's why Cyber, right now, we're just playing for the boost here. Gonna force Hocki to give up his resources, and he's done quite well. Hocki's at absolutely nothing right now. He's gotta go all the way back as Cyber. Solo effort. Flip reset. Oh, he's got it perfectly, but he's at the crossbar, and that's wide open for Hocki. He'll go the other way, and this is a 5-6 game. Hocki not out of it as a missed shot from Cyber will cost him dearly. And it's all square, it's almost all square at this point, but a miss from Hocki. Cyber's baited him in, and that is a 7-5 game. The fake challenge and the fake pump there. Just look at that. Just didn't go in the ball initially. Hocki went for that dunk, but he got absolutely nothing. As Cyber out mind games him there. And that's going to recover to him to that 2-goal lead that he had before. In fact, he's in a good position now to make it free, but Hocki will keep him away. It's time running out here for Hocki. Cyber knows it. He's going to challenge early, make life difficult. He's going to go again. No boost for either side, but Hocki's got to shoot this, and it will be kept away. Cyber is going to end game 2 with another win. One more away from sweeping Hocki in this show match. Off to a good start here is Cyber. Hocki. He's got to make a reverse sweep now. That's just been Cyber again who's had the better plays, the better decisions. A lot of this is going to come down to, can Hocki play a little bit smarter? He has actually had more shots that game, but the defense of Cyber has been a lot better. And for Hocki, a lot of his challenges, a lot of his decisions have just not been as smart. They've just not been as careful. Cyber's been a little bit better at when he treads this, through the series. In the game 3, if he doesn't make a drastic update to his playstyle, he's going to be left behind. Cyber now one game away from taking this first of what will be two series here tonight on the stream. Hocki always started off scoring first, although this may not happen again as Cyber. Oh, what a recovery. Hocki got back just in time, used the back of the net to get himself some momentum. Here he goes, a shot down the field, and no doubt about it, Hocki's scored first once again. Beautiful outplay. Gets Cyber to jump at it. It was all Hocki's control. Once again, he'll be the one to score first in these games, but he's just not been able to close these things out. Cyber. I don't really know what that was. He is going to do well at chasing down Hocki. I love this control. Staying close. He's staying aggressive. And he's staying stalwart as a flip reset from Cyber. Nearly found the top right corner, but Hocki had it covered. He'll go again. Hocki with boost to work with. Going high, Hocki! This man is an absolute genius with the mechanics. As if you didn't think he could elevate even more, he goes up higher and higher. Every game, it's Hocki who's found some incredible goal to get things started. And now he'll look for one more. Goal free. High potential here, and he's Cyber stripped it! Oh, it's Hocki to take the open net as Cyber fell off his own front post. And it didn't look like he meant to do that as a bit of a whoopsie there from Cyber. And, well, for how this game has gone, it's been a huge resurgence from Hocki. Cyber might need to work a little bit to slow him down. Cyber. This one cleared by Hocki trying to clear it back, but not much helping him here. This play just continuing on the field. It's still Hocki on the ball, but what else can really happen here as he's got to play some good defense. We haven't seen too much of that from Hocki so far, but how often he's scoring, defense may not be too big of a concern for him. But it will go in for Cyber. He's don't know how to outplay him there. As a little backflip flick will give him a little bit more space to work with. This game getting a little bit more interesting now. Cyber potential for a comeback, and would put it against him to be able to do it. Definitely still got what it is with him, as Cyber now a 50-50 will force that one in. That's going to make things even easier for themselves. Again, Cyber could potentially take this series in a real sweep. It would not put it against him with how he's played in the last two games to be able to do it, as Hocki looking for the fake there, but it's Cyber who's taking the ball. He'll score once again. This game's all knotted up as a free goal response from Cyber. That better not go unnoticed by Hocki. Cyber with that momentum again. We've seen it. That middle game momentum from Cyber. Make way for him. He doesn't play carefully here. This game could get out of hand quickly as off the kickoff. Hocki. Actually, a really nice pinch there to keep it out. But again, not doing well to keep control of this ball. Will get it back though as Cyber ever challenged and we'll see that Cyber control once again. Getting the flick. Nearly was able to bite past Hocki, but he's gonna take that ball. And he took the boost too. So now Cyber's on full boost. Hocki does know that, hopefully, after being demoed. And oh, just look at this from Cyber. He's gonna bait him into that one. And he actually may have done it as well. Only 14 boost, but he's got the 50 as well. Hocki's jumping, but he will not win. Oh, he still saves it out. But on 0 boost, Hocki is running on fumes. Not much left for the 100x team not found of a player, but he will survive. Oh my, that was a close one for Hocki. Ran out of boost quite quickly there. No position you want to be on defense. Stuck with 0 boost, chasing after the ball. The opponent knows you're on no boost. This makes things so much more uneasy. Hocki, some lockdown defense here. He's gonna play a little more of it too as Cyber making him go for those 50s. Hocki is buying into them as well. You know, I talked to a coach in my past when I played a ton of 1v1s. He said one of the things you really need to know about 1v1s is not to play into what your opponent wants you to do. Right now, Hocki's doing just that, and you're seeing it's not really working out so well for him. Cyber, he is winning these challenges, but he hasn't scored yet, and well, he's still winning here. This net wide open, but he went for the boost. Hocki's gonna get back, Cyber. Slowing it down, and I'll make fake for Hocki, but it won't work. I thought for a second Cyber may have bitten into Hocki, going for the in-and-out save, but it didn't happen. And it didn't work, and a little play there from Cyber. A little doink over. He's taking the lead here after a long battle. That was back and forth. Cyber eventually will take lead here after being down by 3 goals in this game. This guy has made quite the comeback, and he's still not done. Around the corner. Cyber waiting, but Hocki's gonna get the beat there in that flick. The Cyber's gonna give away that possession. Hocki on the dribble. He's gonna do it again. The bomb! And he's found it! Hocki! Just let this play speak for itself. That's a real confidence booster for a guy who's not scored all that much this series. And who has struggled to score this game. That's gonna matter a lot for his confidence. A lot for this game. And with 30 seconds to go, Cyber, the pressure on him, but he's taking the shot! And Hocki went for boost! Cyber scores and takes the lead again. As Hocki caught going for the boost. Just Cyber predicted that play perfectly. And he'll be the lead again now. It's a game of cat and mouse, of chase for Hocki. Gotta take the ball and he's gotta really work with it. Cyber's not giving him much room. Hocki, though, with the play off the kickoff. Cyber, though, takes it back, and he'll get past him. Now maybe a 6-4 lead. 2 goals for the better, and it will be. Cyber dribbles this downfield, and Hocki's left biting the dust. The fake kickoff now. Will that solidify it? Hocki has to challenge, but he won't get the ball, and Cyber's going to keep it away. This series is all over. Cyber will look for one more goal, but it will actually go in for him. He's going to take that and end this game 7-4. End this series on a 3-0 sweep. Cyber, no doubts that he's the better player in this matchup. Smarter decisions, smarter on the solo plays, smarter in a lot of things, and a great win there over the 100x team not found player. GG's all around, but it's Cyber who will take this victory 3 games straight. Was just able to come out as that better player here tonight. It was quite the 1v1 show match. I was happy to get to see that as well. Because again, that's only going to end our first of two series. If we go to our schedule, our next matchup is Evolve Skylight taking on 100X FFE. Well, that's going to be another 125 matchup so far. We'll have to see how that match will go, but and what a match that was, quicker than I thought it would be as well. But again, a big win for Cyber. I'm sure he'll be happy with that. He played very well that series, very, very smart, and he'll take that victory, that's for sure. We're just going to set things up for that next series. Thank you for the cast, of course, Cyber. Well, thank you for joining in. It was nice to see you. Congratulations on your win. I'm sure you'll be, pretty happy with that. Although, again, it's all fun here throughout this matchup. I'm happy you guys booked me for this. I was happy to get to see it. Our next series will be Evolve Skylight versus 100X FFE, part of the Ascension Cup. The Ascend Tournament Series. We'll be getting that match up and running very soon, but for now, we'll go to a break. We'll be back with this series. Hello everybody and welcome to the Spodia stream. Nice to see you all here again. We've got some tournament series, and right now the person who's covering the camera who doesn't want to be seen is Cheesy Chaz. Welcome in again, Chaz. And I see you, and I see you're covering yourself because, now that you're on Evolve Esports, this might be a match where you want to cover your eyes at some points, because this is a pretty scary matchup. Oh, Skylight on X FFV in the Ascension tournament series. This is one of the most hyped matches of the season. Two teams undefeated. Someone is going to have to get their first loss here.
I was just moving my camera, but no, like you just said, I just became a part of Evolve, so it's actually really exciting for me to be able to get to join you here in this. And from what you were telling me before, and from what I've seen, both teams are amazing, have a lineup of amazing players, and I'm super excited to be here with you. Again, this is I was with you a couple days ago, so I'm excited.
Yeah, but that was for RLSS. This is ATS, so a different league. Still, Evolve Skylight still are solid, but against 100X FFV, they're playing against a team who has had a pretty good result last season. Both these teams have actually played last season, just in various different formats. 100X FFV, last season was a 100X team. Evo actually was my team. That was the last team I ever played on. Competitively, made it to the top 8, but couldn't get to the quarterfinals. Evolve Skylight, though, under a bit of a weird roster. Their roster changed a ton last season. And won the whole thing. This season now, they're going back to their more normalized roster. Some others have stuck around, like Borb and Astro, but overall, they've had some changes here. Snickers still leading, though, so Revolve's looking to become two-time champions here of the Ascension Cup here in Season 1, and so far, both these teams en route to do so. 5-0 records for both of them, and if they continue to be at the top of the group, they'll automatically get a spot in that top 8, so winning this matchup will almost certainly guarantee that for one of these sides.
And like I had already said, you had said both these teams are undefeated here so far, but it is going to be a very interesting match. You were saying, and like I was saying the last stream, that it was actually a 100x team that was playing 100x is very aggressive, but you were saying Evolve themselves are also very aggressive, and I'm excited to see who takes the cake on that.
As you mentioned here again, you mentioned about these teams being that aggressive. Evolve Skylight are a little more well-rounded, but again, we're just gonna get things sorted out here. As again, Evolve Skylight says, I see someone in chat saying, "Is this 6v4?" This is not 6v4. This is 3v3. But some teams are allowed to have but as you guys can see, the little star symbol that designates a captain, the little white boxes that is coaches, and the blue box or the orange boxes it is on the red side. And the little whistle, that designates a coach. The teams do have subs in this matchup. Both Skylights and RXFV both have subs. We'll see if they utilize them. But what's interesting about this is, again, both these teams have been here before, have gone through the Ascension Cup, played in Season Zevo, now in Season 1. And what's crazy about it is, after having so much time between these seasons, these players are all still very solid. There are some newer names, like C's, Lax, and the Peking Lego. But overall, we're seeing a lot of repeats, a lot of people back. Hysteria was the coach of Evolve Skylight last season. Snickers, Xlight, Borb, Astro were all in Evolve Skylight last season. 100X FFV, with Alt Power Man Pro and Hero God, they played on 100X Team Evo last season together. So to see these players still, be this good after so much time really shows you the longevity that some of these players in this Ascension Cup have, especially this league being a lot more competitive this season.
And you always like to see players come back into the league and play multiple seasons of said league, because you like you were saying, you get to see the longevity of them, but you also get to see how they grow as a player, whether it be how offensive they are, how they may be able to take some of their touches, or how they may stay back some, like who knows, like how they interact with their teammates. And once you see them coming back, you get to understand how they play with their teams if they are playing together for a long time.
As you mentioned, it's so often with players and with teams, it's, after a long time, things start to sour up, but that's not been the case here. These rosters, sure, they've made changes, but you still feel, still a lot of that core is still here. These rosters is still here. Again, the core of Evolve Skylight, Snickers. This guy is still here. That Snickers Xlight Duo still here. On 100X FFV, sure, they may have changed up those players. It's still that core of Alt Power Man Pro and Hero God is still here. That those two side again. That actually 100X FFV is those two players being that Mexican side in 100X FFV insane. On Evolve Skylight, I believe it's American entirely. I could be wrong, but still, again, it's insane to see again with all these changes, with all these things here, and again, we're gonna get these teams in as again we have since match lobby info, and again we're gonna get these players in as soon as we can for Evolve Skylight Hunter XFFV. But mind you, this is only our second series of the day. If you guys weren't here earlier, you missed a great 1v1 show match. How could you? I missed the match between Hocki and Cyber winning in a 3-0 sweep. This matchup here, the Evolve Skylight Hunter XFFV, shouldn't go that way. It's definitely going to be one where we're going to see one of these teams come out early, and I expect it to be Hunter XFFV with how aggressive they are, but Evolve Skylight's got a really good defense. It's one of the things that makes them so scary, is their defense and how good it is at keeping the ball out of the nets, and we're going to see if that maybe frustrates, because Hunter XFFV as a side does get frustrated sometimes with how they're playing, and oftentimes, at least with my experience with Alt Power and Tio God, they generally don't get frustrated, but you can definitely tell when they get a little bit annoyed, a little bit pushed, and sometimes they just don't deal well with that. So for them, they've got to be able to bounce back off of a defense that will probably be the toughest team they'll play all season, especially with these teams, again, being undefeated so far.
And going off of what you just said there, having to bounce back, it is going to be very exciting to see how they deal with a scenario like that. If you are able to say something like that, I'm sure they are realizing that they have to do that. So I'm wondering if the pressure is going to get to them, or they are going to be able to overcome that and, come out swinging and be able to overcome that situation.
As you said, overcoming that adversity here, as we are, again, still waiting on these sides for final match of the night, and it's a big one here with both these teams playing here, because at this point they both guaranteed a spot in the playoffs, but it depends if you're going to get into that top 8 or if you have to fight for the qualifier, the wild card, to get there, and those are some hugely different tournaments. That wild card is one extra tournament. It's double elimination. That final bracket is single elimination. If you can get there as a high seed, you play against one of the wild card teams. So there's a huge reason to win your group, and for both these sides, while they're both likely to do it, win here will almost certainly guarantee it for these sides. I believe Hunter XFV, actually, if they do win, they definitely guarantee it. Evolve Skylight not as much, but Hunter XFV could guarantee that spot if they win, and we'll see if they can do it for both these sides. They really, this is really going to be a good match for them, because this is going to test the best of the league against the best, and could very well set a precedent for what we might see come into that final bracket, maybe even to the grand finals.
And I just want to say something about the wild cards. You get to see some crazy things coming from those teams that you could get the best of the best coming from the league itself, going against those wild cards, and you can get the best matches that come from the entire league itself coming from those wild cards. And those are probably honestly my favorite matches to watch, is the wild card matches.
Yeah, they are. They're so interesting because the wild card is not the top teams, not the teams expected to win the whole thing.
Exactly.
There's these teams who know that they have what it takes, and so often you see teams when they come from the wild card, they're more playoff ready. That's one of the risks of actually winning in your group, is that you don't get to play in the wild card. You don't get to understand what it's like playing in the playoff type matchups. So we get to see that, in that wild card. We get to see these teams get their first real look at the playoffs and potentially make some insane under bracket runs. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a ton of wild card teams win their quarterfinal matchups. So we'll see if that happens, but still, you don't want to go to the wild card if you don't have to. The wild card is going to be 8 teams big. It's a big bracket. No one wants to go the wild card. No one wants to be one of those teams who has to do it, and you don't blame anybody for not wanting to go in the wild card. But somebody's got to go there, and both these sides are guaranteed at least that at the very worst they're going to the wild card. But you might as well try to avoid it if you can.
I mean, no player may want to go to the wild cards, but let me tell you, as a viewer or somebody that wants to watch it happened, English, somebody that wants to watch it happened, I can't say it again.
Don't worry, it's just a new word in the dictionary. Happened.
Yeah, somebody that wants to watch it happen, it is definitely an interesting thing to be able to watch, and no, it is an amazing experience to be able to watch it and cast a game like that, because anything can happen coming from that wild card team.
Yeah, anything can happen, and that's the crazy thing is both these sides. I also should mention, we're getting very close to the end of the season. This week is the final week of roster moves, and I don't think these teams are making any changes. I think this is going to be basically the roster locked rosters for these sides, which is a pretty big deal. These are the rosters they're going to play going to that championship, going into the playoffs, and they can't make any changes to that. There's also change the teams that they're going to. These are also the rosters going to be used on after this match to play one more match after this. Reminder, you play 7 matches in a season. This is week 5. They've already played 5 matches for both these sides, so it's this week and next week, and this is their match for this week. Next week, week 6, the final week of the regular season, is the week. That week is the final match as well, and again, it's a big deal, for these teams when you play on these kind of matchups, just to get those wins, and especially here against these sides. Again, you basically guarantee your top spot in the group if you win here, but even if not, it's just good practice. These teams have actually not even gone to Game 5 yet this season, which is insane to say. They've not even taken the Game 5 into any of their matches. They're still winning. That's how insane it is how these teams are playing. Out of all the matches they've played, no Game 5s. At some point you think these teams may need to get a bit of a reality check, and, well, why not do it against one of the very best in the league?
Exactly. And interesting enough, the last series that we ended up casting together actually went to a Game 5 in the final game. One being a veteran team to Game 5, one never having been to Game 5. So it's very interesting to see 2 teams that have not been to Game 5 at all go against each other. And from what you've been saying, both teams are very, very good. So, 2 very good teams. I think this might be the best chance we have to having some overtimes, having a Game 5. Both teams being newer to said Game 5, and I don't know. I would thoroughly enjoy having a Game 5 between these 2 teams. And yeah, that would be an amazing experience to be able to see. Also,
some fun parallels. For both these teams, the final match of the season is actually against the same team. It's against Goodnight Gaming Scarlet. So they both got to play against the same team. And that team, by the way, is 4-1. So good luck on these sides with their upcoming matchups against G&G Scarlet. That is a team that can definitely beat these sides. And as we've seen already this week, actually, Hocki are very much a mortal side. We saw them play against Next to New Nomads earlier this week, only a few days ago, losing to Next to New Nomads in a pretty embarrassing loss. So this Skylight side is mortal. Both these teams are mortal. These guys can lose, and you don't want to take your eyes off any series, because every series matters. As we are having some delays here. Again, I do apologize on that. We do have Skylight in the lobby, just waiting on 100x FFB to join. As soon as they're ready, we'll be good to go here. As again, I hope we don't have this match end in a forfeit. As again, we'll wait on the sides. Again, Skylight bringing in Borb, Excite, and Astro into this matchup. So see how this roster works. As for 100x FFB, I'm assuming their roster is going to be Alt Power Manpro, Evo God, and a Peking Lego. That's generally the roster they go with, but Blax very often has been on that roster, so it's really just a test to see kind of who's going to come on, and if 100x FFB wants to come in here soon enough, because, again, I'm assuming they're just having some slight delays.
And as you're saying that, it looks like they are joining right now.
Oh, of course they are. Of course they are. As yeah, it is Peking Lego. Peak Legend is Peking Lego. As we'll get these guys in, and good timing. I just patched to Alt Power. He just told me he's good to go. So let's get the series started. I don't think we should wait any more here for this one. As again, we're getting a message from Alt. They had a really long match, so we'll get them. So that's fine. As these teams in here, good enough for this matchup, a best of 5 series. It's a Evolve Skylight 100x FFE. 2 teams at 5-0 records have not lost yet this season. And here in this best of 5, someone's going to take their first loss. The other is going to ascend even higher here in the Ascension Cup.
And I am so excited to see this game. Like I was saying in the last series we cast it together, 100x being a very aggressive team, and what you have told me, the FFE prospect of that, portion of that, just adding more so to it, Evolve Skylight being a well-rounded team. I'm excited to see what happens between these 2 throughout this series.
Oh, but a miss there. It's Astro with goal number 1, and what on earth happened here to the defense of 100x FFE? Peking Lego just kind of gave up on that play? I don't really know what happened there, but what I can say is it's a free goal for Evolve Skylight, and 100x FFV already some issues on that rotation.
Astro was way up. He was up from midfield yesterday for that goal too. So it may have been a situation where he gave up on the play, but Astro definitely showing that he will go for the ball early. He will go from half court. He doesn't care. He will be aggressive and push the plays so that he can score a goal.
Yeah, as you said, again, he's going to push, and he's almost doing it again as a bump attempt on Alt Power Man Pro. 100x FFV getting the early pressure on, and you can tell this team not liking this rotation from Evolve Skylight, and that's the scary part about Evolve. This team has such a tough to beat rotation. Really, it is just so tough to beat this team. There's a reason why. This is essentially the same roster that won last season, but a great shot from Peking Lego, and that will put 100x FFV on the board as right in the offense. This team knows exactly where to place the ball.
And as we were watching that, something that I noticed was that Evolve Skylight was actually two of their players on that play when 100x scored that goal. Two of them were still on their side of the field. They only had one person back that was able to possibly defend that goal. So far, they are the more aggressive team.
I don't think that's a surprise, though, with 100x FFV. I've already mentioned that this team loves offense, definitely loves to play a lot more than Evolve Skylight, and you're going to see them consistently, always pushing upfield, looking for the breakthrough chances. I mean, back when I played with All Para Manpro and Tiro God, these guys always worked as a duo, whether it be on offense or defense, and more often than not, they're going to just sit upfield and wait for the plays to work themselves. These guys love the offense, they love to play every part of it, and a lot of what's going to come down for 100x FFV is whether or not Peking Lego does his job in the backfield, but he won't do it very well there, as a miss from Peking Lego and Evolve Skylight will take the lead again.
There it is. There's Astro once again throwing himself on the offense, and he is able to push past multiple players in order to score a goal there. And it looks like Astro is going to be the centerpiece of the offense for Evolve Skylight here.
Yeah, but last season that centerpiece was Snickers, who has still considered to be a strong player, but more often we're seeing these some of these players from Evolve Skylight take new precedence. I mean, Astro and Borb and Xlight were all on this roster last season. This is no stranger a roster, that's for sure. It's just a little interesting to not see Snickers on this, playing here tonight. He's usually been known to be that center player. He was the one that led them last season. I believe he was even MVP in the Ascension Cup last season, but here this time it's a little different. Here's 100x FFV in the midfield. Xlight will send it out. From Peking Lego, a clear to Xlight, and Evolve Skylight score again. The passing plays are working, and the offense is beautiful. 100x FFV getting a handful.
What a great play coming from Evolve Skylight here. We have like you were saying, the passing plays coming to fruition. Again, it's the aggressiveness. Oh, and we might get a kickoff goal, not quite, but like you were saying, the passing plays coming up into effect here. Evolve actually, like I was trying to say, like they're playing more aggressive. Astro is trying to go for a double tap there. Xlight keeping it on their side of the field. So far since kickoff, the ball has not left 100X's side of the field.
It has not. This is again a testament to that Evolve Skylight's midfield prowess. Really, I would actually disagree with you on saying that they're the more aggressive team. I don't believe they're the more aggressive side. But I do think they're the side that's better on the aggression, better at holding the offense. 100x FFV just a bit too careless, and to be honest, it's so tough not to make mistakes in the presence of Evolve Skylight, because it's one error, one little touch, and they attack right onto you, and they will continue to score a fourth goal for Evolve Skylight. This team just will not break down.
That's very interesting that you say that. And maybe that's what it is. This is game number one. Both teams are indeed trying to feel each other out still, but Evolve Skylight seeming like they are taking less time to do so, going for the demo on the goal line there. And honestly, I do agree with that.
Oh, wait a second.
Evolve. Oh. Evolve Skylight is definitely playing a very good midfield game here.
I nearly thought Hirogata just scored one of the best own goals I've seen on the stream in a while here. That was nearly incredible, but unfortunately for Onyx FFV, they won't get those chances. And really what worked so well for Next to New Nomads was the fact that they latched on to the midfield and never let go. And Onyx FFV just don't have that same kind of midfield play that we saw from Next to New Nomads, the team that beat Evolve Skylight earlier this week on this stream. Again, this Evolve side is beatable, but it really does come down to how do you play the midfield, and Onyx FFV just aren't as midfield solid. They aren't controlling the midfield play, and that's what's allowing Evolve Skylight all this space, all this control, all this offense, and all these goals, and what will eventually lead them to take Game 1 to start the series in their favor, and look like good doing so, as the Evolve Skylight side, bringing some incredible offensive pressure on Onyx FFV, will have to find a way to respond to that, because right now, they're not winning the midfield.
Oh, and I will say this really quick because this is what I do. But Seth Palm, thank you for the raid to Sporty FC with a raid party of 5. I like to shout that type of thing out.
He's doing the job. You're doing the job for me, man. Thank you. Yes, again, thank you for the raid, Seth Palm. You're joining. I'm Sporty FC. Joining me is Cheesy Chess, and we got Evolve Sky 100x FFE, probably the most exciting match on the docket this week, and for good reason. Both these teams undefeated. Evolve Skylights are considered the favorites in this matchup, at least in my opinion. They're the team that's more likely to win, and well, in Game 1 they showed that, but for 100x FFE, this team can play well in the midfield. They just have to be able to find that, because right now, they haven't done so all that easily. They've won more possession, but they haven't gotten more shots, and again, it's all down to the midfield. That's the reason why they're not winning.
And that's what I'm excited to see here coming into this next game. We definitely saw Evolve Skylight dominating that midfield. But from what you have been saying, 100X was winning the last game because they were dominating. So I think that this series might come down to who can win possession in midfield. Maybe not the aggression on offense or the prowess on defense of someone being the iron wall, but the control in midfield.
Yeah, it's going to be a real battle. 100x FFE are not the team that's favored to win the midfield. At least from their playstyle, they're a lot more of a bim-bam kind of side that love to shoot and love to just throw the ball upfield. There's a lot less control from them, and you're going to see Evolve Skylight force them to play that way, because that's really the only way I've seen teams beat Evolve Skylight. And to be fair, maybe one of the reasons for that is because there's so few teams that have beat Evolve Skylight in its history, and really for 100x FFE, if they're going to be one of them, they're just going to have to do what Evolve Skylight does better, because Evolve Skylight does their playstyle so well, and doing other playstyles just isn't very easy when Evolve Skylight love to be a team, love to work together. 100x FFE, they're going to have to find a way to do that, really get some insanely talented chemistry, because nobody's beaten Evolve Skylight this season, and that may stay this way for a while.
Exactly, and we are seeing that right now. Evolve Skylight almost being able to get a goal right there from the pressure coming from both midfield and offense, but it looks like 100X is trying to do everything they can to, like you were saying, bing bang past that midfield, and they're not able to get it through.
I want to see a bit more of a slower style from 100x FFE, like that from Peking Lego, where you slow this play down, you don't try to shoot the ball upfield right to Evolve Skylight. Instead, you hold it close, you don't clear it, you just kind of keep control, keep the ball, dribble. These guys on XFV are all very solid on the ground, so I'm surprised we haven't seen more of that from them, and I'd love to see it as a bump from the backfield, and this one wide, but X-Sight will score, and Evolve Skylight will take goal 1 as Astro went headhunting.
And there it is. Oh, we actually had all 3 players on 100X's side of the field. It was a great bumping, great capitalization on the play. All 3 players from 100X not being able to stop the pressure that they had. And actually, Hero is able to slip one in here soon after kickoff, going off the sidewall and straight into the net. Nobody is ready for this.
Alt Paraman Pro and Hirogata have been teammates for a lot longer than the Ascension Cup has been around. They were first on 100X Horizon, then they joined 100X Team Evo, now on 100X FFE. These guys have been teammates for a very long time, and it doesn't look like it's going to stop anytime soon. But they're still going to have to play quite well, because that chemistry is going to be tested between these two, and Oh, that's gonna be a test that is really gonna bring a lot to them here as Evolve Skylight. Continue to put on the pressure, but peeking Lego clears this ball away. Hero got the jump for it. He gets it past, but it's off the post. Follow-up goes in, and Onyx FFE, I believe for the first time this series, have the lead.
That is true. They definitely are having the lead for the first time within this series. But what I want to look at during that play is their midfield. They were slower. They were not as aggressive until the very end when they needed to. They looked like all three players were trying to be patient and waiting for the moment they needed to attack.
And I love that a lot of these touches now have a lot more meaning behind them for 100x FFB. Like, every touch they have just seems to have a player in mind as, well, Walt Paramanpro maybe had the net in mind there. He nearly scored what would have been an own goal. 100x FFB. This is the second time this series where they've almost own goaled on the net. You might be thinking there might be some issues with them as save from Walt Paramanpro. Bump in front from Borb. Here comes Astro waiting for the play, but he'll get the dunk. Peeking Lego. Up in front, we have seen him on this FFB organization for quite a while. We saw him in the Skyward Series 2v2, I believe the Challenger Division, but he won't have that same kind of success all that easily as a great challenge from Borb, and that goes over everybody on XFFE, hits off the post and the back of the net. This game's tied.
What a great shot coming from Borb here. He was able to, and that kind of just proves Evolve's awareness here in the midfield. They are not only controlling it or aggressive towards the midfield, not necessarily 100x's side of the field, but they are completely aware of not only where the other players are, but how they need to touch the ball, where they need to put it in order to, one, score a goal, or two, make a better position for their teammates.
Yeah, and I think one of the fun parts about this roster that we're seeing right now is Astro's getting very, very aggressive. Everybody he has, he's looking for a bump. He's looking for a player to remove, as he'll do the same to Alt Paramanpro. Astro has just been a bully on the field, and 100x FFE, this is a side that's not demo heavy. They just aren't very bump heavy. They don't go for a lot of bumps. They're much more mechanical, and you're going to see that maybe create some issues here because they're met in the mechanics. They're going to have to get aggressive if they want to play against the Evolve Skylight. This team has such a strong backline that if you don't demo them, you're only making life more difficult. And again, a lot of reasons why that backline has been so solid, again, has been because of how long these players have been together. It's been the fact that they've been teammates for that amount of time. It has been the fact that, you know, they've done well. But to talk about, you know, players that have been on this, that have been around for a while, that have been at this level for a while, Alt Paramanpro, actually, the first time we ever saw him on the stream was not for 100x35. It was for a different organization in Total Control. And, you know, having seen this guy on the stream for a while, his playstyle hasn't changed too much. He's still the same mechanical player, but we're going to see some adjustments here as a save from Peeking Lego. He made a couple of those already, and this time that save keeps them in as the time runs out. Evolve Skylight won't get offense again though. Peeking Lego 1v1 with Astro, the flick over, but Excite waiting, bumped, it's in. Peeking Lego with a late goal and 100x FFV may take game 2 with it.
And what's interesting about this, or something interesting that I did in fact see, is that you were talking about how 100x is indeed more of a, for lack of better words, and I'll steal yours, is a bing bang booming type of play style, which we actually almost saw it right there. But while they are doing that, you don't see Evolve Skylight try to hit the ball any further than the half court line.
Great play there, 100x FFE with game number 2. A late goal to take it here, but again, I've been so impressed. The huge change you saw that game, it was a lot more controlled. They took a lot more time with the ball, and that's the difference maker that they needed, was that control. As Rebel with a sub there. Thank you for the sub there, Rebel. Well, thank you for the love as well. You're an amazing person, Rebel. Rebel's been on the stream a ton, so again, thank you for the sub. Hopefully you're doing well, my friend. As we're going to move into game 3 here with 100x FFV and Evolve Skylights here for game number 3. We have seen so much of this action of these players this season. And you know, with this match being as high as it is, maybe you are right about the prediction of game 5 here, Chas, because with how these teams are playing, honestly, it feels like it's quite likely. As hopefully we'll get Chas back in. I think he's not here yet, so we're gonna get Chas back in as soon as we can. Maybe disconnect there. Oh, he's
Sorry
back.
about
You're
that.
back.
Yes, I am back.
Yeah, I was
Hello.
just talking about how your prediction might be correct here. We might have a game 5 on our hands if these teams keep playing like this.
Exactly, and that's exactly what I was thinking also.
Chas,
Both
you're an
teams,
analyst.
both teams definitely going back and forth, not only but between the games, like the individual player style and team style of play within each individual game. It seems like they might just go back and forth. I don't know if they're gonna win. Like one team might win 2 games in a row here, and the other team might win 2. I think they might go game for game here in this series.
You're thinking back and forth, and honestly, I can't disagree. These teams can make adjustments. They haven't had to do so super often this season, but these guys can do it. I'm sure they were expecting to have to do it. As again, just what a match that game 2 was. It was so back and forth, came down to a final goal. I'm surprised we haven't seen an overtime yet so far tonight. Maybe I'm cursing it, but you know, with how these teams are playing, I've loved the offense, I've loved the non-stop goals, and I just love the creativity that we're seeing from these sides. So many demos, so many aggressive players involved. Skylight getting involved with more of it. Astro trying to take a piece of peeking Lego, but it will be Astro 2-way back. Excite won't have it. Next FFB with a challenge by All-Power Man Pro. Excite to save as this ball going back and forth, as you've said already, Chas, and it's only going to continue that way as these teams continue to play and get better and bigger. Speaking Lego, second touch! Oh, he's got it! 100x FFE with goal 1, and this goal is an absolute beauty.
Just something interesting I've seen coming from Evolve Skylight's side is that the past couple of games we were talking about Astro being kind of more that centerpiece of offense, being the more, I guess we could say, aggressive player here on this roster so far. I actually don't think I've seen him go on offense so far yet this game, except for now.
And that touch will be easily kept away. 100x FFE have shut down Astro, and yeah, you're not wrong about him being an ultra-aggressive player. Excite is known to be quite defensive, more defensive on the side of Evolve Skylight, and it is a lot of times Astro, also known as Coaster, who has been that really aggressive player, a huge goal scorer this season, but he's not been able to find success so far, and it's 100x FFE who do well to shut him down. Again, so many of these touches are just so controlled, are looking for each other, have a player in mind on their side. There's a reason why Astro's not winning this ball so often. It's because 100x FFE are prepared to challenge and are prepared to win, as they'll get another shot from Peking Lego. 2 for this player, 2 for 100x FFE, and a 2-goal lead.
And unfortunately, right there, coming from the Evolve Skylight's side of the game, it unfortunately looked like 2 of the players may have almost gotten into a team bump there, may have ended up respecting each other's positioning, and it ended up in a great shot by Peking. He's actually putting in another goal with a flip reset.
My God, Peking legend, this guy. Does he ever stop? He just scored a double tap earlier. Now he's got a flip reset. That is a surprise to see him just throw out those mechanics. I mentioned how he was more of a defensive player for XFFE, but that couldn't be any further from the case. This guy is bringing the offense on XFFE this game, and he's doing it quite well.
Exactly, and he, so far, I dare say, he has been the most mechanical player so far on either side of the field. And somebody's gonna have to step up to start challenging him. Somebody's gonna have to stop him. And as I'm saying that, Peek's getting a great save. Not only is he doing well on offense, but he's doing just as good a job on defense.
Yeah, whoops, I think he just accidentally left the game there for a second, and that's not going to help him. He left the game after he made that save. Accidentally, I think, clicking the menu button, and whoopsies, that's going to leave him in an awkward position on defense, and unfortunately for him, yeah, there you go, he tabbed out, whoops. A whoopsie there from a Peking legend. Unfortunately, it doesn't help him so well, and it's Evolve Skylight's first goal here in Game 3 after almost 3 minutes of gameplay, and, wow, that's been a long time. We haven't seen Evolve Skylight score in a while.
And as we are watching Evolve Skylights looking like they're finally starting to get some offensive pressure here, getting a demo. Astro trying to push it past Peak, and Excite keeping it on their side of the field. Again, looking like he might do it, but Hero gets a good 50. Astro right back in the action. And it looks like Evolve was doing a very good job of keeping on their side of the field. It looks like they might try to get this mid-game pressure going once again like they had in the first 2 games.
Yeah, Hero God has also stepped up on that aggression. A lot of these midfield challenges are coming from him, are coming from his plays, and you're just seeing so often he's in the right position, but won't be there for that play. As a clear from Alt Man Pro, now peeking Lego, gets past one. The shot towards net will be easily kept away from Astro. 100x FFV, keeping the offense, but it's Hero God once again out to the corner. Challenged by Astro, he'll lose the ball as Borb to the net. Double commit from 100x FFV, and they're not going to be prepared for what could be a second shot, but Evolve Skylight weren't prepared either. A double commit from them, and this ball will once again be sent away as Hero God's challenge will allow 100x FFV some room to work with, and for Evolve Skylight, it only makes their situation even more dire and with less time to work with.
And we got 30 seconds left in this game, and Evolve Skylight is trying to find a hole or an opportunity to get past 100x, and it looks like they might be possibly finding it right now as Astro was trying to get it past 100x's defense and they weren't able to, and Excite tries to get a save on that one, but Peak once again putting another goal in, proving that peaking is peaking.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're gonna talk about peaking Lego.
Yeah.
I knew that joke was coming from you as soon as you set up. I was like, oh, he's gonna say it. I guess one of us was going to say it. I guess one of us was going to say it eventually here. But that's game 3. 100x FFV, one game away from giving Evolve Skylight their first loss of the season. This side that again only made it to top 8 last season, could not make it further. This is a huge step up this season. Peking Lego has just been another phenom on the field, and I have been so impressed with him, especially this game. 4 goals on 7 shots, and 3 saves as well. There's been nothing that this guy hasn't done.
Exactly, and yeah, you're right. One of us had to say it, and I definitely was going to be the one to do it. Peak was definitely peaking in that game, not only on offense. Obviously, you're seeing that he has all 4 goals coming from 100x, but not only that, he has the most saves on the team with 3 saves. And I was gonna say it about Astro, but I mean, Peak, he was there. He was everywhere. He was there for offense. He was there for defense, and he left with nothing to be desired on that game.
Yeah, he left nothing behind. He threw everything he had at that net, and for good reason. You might as well keep that momentum going. For Evolve Skylight, who's their peaking Lego? Who's their player who's going to rise up and be the offense? It was Astro in game 1, but ever since then, you've mentioned it, he's been dormant, Chess, and there has been nobody to fill in that void on Evolve Skylight. And if I don't figure out who's going to take that role soon, this series will be over faster than they expected. Next FFV, 1 game away from giving Evolve Skylight their first loss of the season on the Utopia Coliseum. This is where they can do it. Match point for next FFV. All they need is 1 more win.
And hey, I predicted it before the last game. If you don't remember me saying, I do truly think they are going to go 1 game for 1 back and forth. I think that Evolve is going to, after this game, or after the last game, figure out what they need to do to find those holes in the midfield, because of 100x's booming playstyle. They may have just not be able to handle it for the last game.
I really do think an early goal for Evolve Skylight will do that for them. I think this team needs an early goal to allow them to know that there's still every chance for them to take this series, that there's still a side that can win this matchup. They're gonna have to find it soon, and 100x FFV have been unforgiving on defense, have been unrelenting on defense, have not let Evolve Skylight through them, and Evolve Skylight still looking up the search with Astro in front. Great bumps there, but Hero God will clear it away as I see Chessu Had to donate a little bits, and I promise you guys he's not biased, even though he did just donate 100 bits and say that Evolve is on the comeback. I promise you, this guy who's on Evolve is not biased for Evolve here, this matchup, right?
No, not biased at all. And I was just going to say that 100X so far is doing an amazing job at keeping Evolve at bay here. Evolve has been doing all that they possibly can to throw shots on net, create opportunities, and even going for passing plays. 100X is actually keeping them at bay, and they were actually creating an opportunity of their own right there.
Yeah, as I see, we got some raids coming in from Tommy Buckets. The Bucket stream has joined us here. Thank you so much for joining for Ascent Tournament Series Ascension Cup action. Evolve Sky taking on 100X FFV. I'm here with Evolve's newest social media manager in Cheesy Chas. And so far, Evolve Sky, the potential to lose would be their second series on the stream this week and lose their undefeated season here against the 100X FFV. As, again, thank you for the raid to Tommy Buckets, and thank you, Christian, for the shout out here for the raid. Thank you so much as well. We'll get you a shout out soon. As again, Evolve Sky 100X FFV. We got a great series coming up for you guys here. Evolve Sky looking to keep their undefeated season alive, as this is one of the biggest matches this season during the end of the regular season. For both these sides, they've guaranteed spots in the playoffs, but I mean, I've already mentioned this already, Chess. This match is much more of a confidence booster and much more of a playoff kind of predicting match than, you know, a match that really matters in the regular season for both these sides.
Exactly, and you were saying it earlier that an early goal would have been detrimental to Skylight's point of view on the coming match afterwards, but we are now 3 minutes into this game and nobody has scored. This has been the longest the entire series that nobody has scored a goal so far, and if somebody scores right now, I think that's going to be a tide turner for possibly the rest of the series.
And it could also determine who will just take this game. It may only be a one-goal game here. You know, you ever think about that with how good these teams have been, with how strong the defenses have been on both sides? We may only see a one-goal go in. It might be peeking Lego. Second touch off the ceiling. Save there from Skylight, and the follow from Alt Power Manfro will be wide. Evolve Skylight had played majority of this game on defense in their back half. I've mentioned how good it is, but you know this team doesn't want to be here for very much longer. At some point, the offense of 100X FFV, the aggression of 100X FFV will be far too much, and Evolve Skylight have to break out and have to keep the ball that way. They just haven't done so, as a play in the midfield. Double commit there, but it's peeking Lego with the shot saved by Borb, and 100X FFV with another close chance, but still no goals, as Evolve Skylight's holding on to dear life, because 100X FFV are giving them a battle for their lifetime as they hold the midfield and take control. The captain scores. 100X FFV break the deadlock.
What a crazy thing to happen for 100X. They end up taking the first goal of the game, and like I was saying, I don't know. To me, this is a serious goal that they just scored. It might have been one of the more important goals they've scored so far, scoring the first and only goal of the game so far with 4.5 minutes in. Evolve definitely is not feeling good right now, and they might end up scoring another one than they do. Hero God putting it underneath of the defender and scoring a goal number 2. Like I was trying to say, definitely a mind messing with their mind here on that first goal.
100X FFE, unrelenting in defense, but I should probably rephrase that. They're unrelenting in offense. 2 goals for them, and for Evolve Skylight, time is quickly waning. Time is running out, and peeking Lego looks for number 3, but it will stay wide here as time for Evolve Skylight. I mentioned already, it's going to leave them soon here. They've got to score on this chance. As Borb down the field. Here he goes. 10-second countdown off the back wall, but cleared away by peeking Lego, who's had an absolutely insane series so far. And his work has allowed this team and 100X FFE to beat Evolve Skylight, to beat the Season 0 Ascension Cup champions here, and give them their first loss in a very long time in the Ascend Tournament Series. Great play from XFFE. Their offense was able to take control, and as we said, that midfield being a huge factor in this series, is 100X FFE, who I think I can say now, definitely have won it here in these final games.
And interesting thing, what you were saying about peak legends definitely showing up in this series, not just this game, but this series. Looking at him, he may not have scored any goals. He has both assists for their 2 goals. Definitely a prominent player on the field. Kind of like I was trying to say for Astro, he was the centerpiece of one of the X's, and they're actually still up. How
I mean,
long has this 0 seconds been going on?
we're just going to see the keep up game here, but it will end eventually. That was at least 30 seconds of keeping the ball up. Here, as both these teams just going back and forth, but it's 100x FFE who will finally let the ball hit the ground and finally confirm the series win here. They're still undefeated with a 6-0 record. Evolve Skylight, unfortunately for them, it's 5-1, but with how close this match has been, I think Evolve Skylight are going to go to the drawing board and really try to figure out how they can beat teams who control that midfield, because that's what 100x FFE did here. Their offense was just far too solid, and Evolve Skylight, I mean, for them, I think it's a loss that they needed. They needed to, get that loss, because for them, they've been a little too comfortable so far this series. They've had a bit too much complacency, I think, ever since winning that last season. So, to shake that up is on XFFE, and this actually might help Evolve Skylight play even better.
Yeah, I completely agree. Evolve Skylight will definitely return to their. Oh, what's going on with my camera? I didn't realize it moved. Sorry
Hey,
about
move the
that.
camera away from him.
I didn't
Hi there,
realize
Chess.
that.
You're back, man.
Hello. No, I didn't even realize that it was moved. But like I was trying to say, Evolve Skylight definitely will go back to, as you were saying, the drawing board. And going against a team such as 100X, who not necessarily controlled the midfield, but they were able to break through Evolve Skylight's control of the midfield, because through that first and even that second game, we saw Evolve definitely having more control in the center of the field. We saw later games 100X be able to break through more often. So it is going to be interesting, and I'm very excited to see Evolve Skylight grow from this series.
Yeah, so we're actually gonna get an interview here with 100x FFE Alt Paraman Pro has agreed to join in for one of these. So we're gonna get him in here for this little interview to end off the night. But while we're doing that, might as well take a look at all the matches we've had today. It's been a rough day for 100x, at least in that first match. Hocki getting swept by Cyber, but after this, 100x FFE with a 3-1 win over Evolve Skylights, who, well, we might not see them on the stream because so far both of their undefeated seasons, RLSS and ATS, have ended here. So maybe I'm just bad luck for them. But for now, a big win for them. I'm sure they'll be happy, as we're gonna get a Peking Lego. They're joining us here for this one. Congratulations on your win, a Peking Lego here on XFFB, taking down what was the previously undefeated Evolve Skylight. How are you guys feeling after that match?
Pretty good. We went in there. First, we were a little shaky, but then we locked in, got it done.
Yeah. Yo, P, what's up, Alt Power? How are we feeling after that series?
Just amazed. I'm still nervous.
Taking a deep breath. I can hear.
Yeah, dude had to sigh, because it's one of those situations where, you gotta be one of those plays where it's so tough, especially for you guys having made it. For you, All Power, specifically being on 100x Team Evo last season, only making to the top 8, watching as Evolve Skylight took the championship. This season, you guys had your eyes set out for them. How important was this series for you, specifically as a player, to really prove that you deserve to be at the top of this league?
Well, the team have been practicing a lot, and we have been just locking every single game. We have just been losing like 2 games, I think, in all this tournament, and we will be now losing again.
A question from me for both of you. So Evolve Skylight, definitely from those first 2 games having more control of that midfield, like I've been saying. For the past little while, how did you guys adjust your play style to be able to break through that? Do you guys feel like you adjusted, or do you guys feel like you just ended up having to get into the rhythm of how you normally play?
What we made, it was like Hero and Pig were like just attacking, and I was like for their help. And Pig is a really good player, a really offensive player, and Hero is a pass player. So that's like a really good combo. And I was just the one that is gonna help them. And that's how we pass them. We're more aggressive at the sometimes whenever we were attacking, and in the corners we just beat them in the 50s.
You know, of course, Peking Lego wants to get involved in this as well. You know, this is your first season in the Ascension Cup. You weren't here last season. What's it like being with, you know, Alt Power Man Pro, Hero God, you know, these veterans that have been here and have gone to the playoffs before?
And it's great, you know. I'm glad, you know, I got in with some experienced players, you know, that who knows what it's about. You know, I just came in really not knowing what I got into, but you know, clearly it's something great. You can clearly see here.
uh, sorry, I was reading a message, but Peaky, I want to ask you, coming from a player that it is your first time being in Ascend. How does it feel rising so far into the league on your first time being here on a team that full of players that are veterans, as Sporty was saying?
It's pretty good. You know, like I can definitely see like that we've gotten way better each match. We're only getting better and better. It's only going to get better from here. We're not going to get worse. So you know, for any team out there that's watching right now, watch out. That's all I got to say.
Well, I think they are going to have to watch out because this is a pretty important win for you guys, and really it's an important win in the Ascension Cup, one of the biggest matches of the season. And Hunter's FFE will get their win over Evolve Skylight in a 3-1 fashion. Congratulations on your win, a Peking Lego and Opera Man Bro. Before you guys leave, we're going to get some shoutouts from both of you. So let's start with a Peking Lego. Do you have any shoutouts, any last statements you want to make?
See you playoffs. That's all I got to say.
There you go, guys. We'll now move on to Alt Power Man Pro. And yeah, as you guys said, you've actually secured, I believe you've secured your playoff spot with that win. So, how you guys, you know, is there any stats you have? Any last things you want to say, Alt Power?
Only one thing: be aware of the 100x FFE team. We will not lose.
They're coming in here, they're putting fear into the hearts of everybody watching. You'll love to hear that from 100x FFE here, a team again that's looking to make the moves here into that final playoff bracket. Again, congratulations on your win here. Your season has been unbelievable so far, and you guys continue to pave the way. Congrats on your win. Have an amazing rest of your night.
All right,
You too, and tied for casting.
Of course.
Good
As
seeing
GZ
you guys.
Chast, yeah, as GZ Chast, what a series that was. Thank you so much for joining me for what was an insane match. Seriously, to see this win, it's one of those matchups where you get to watch and it's you know, it's insane to see these top two teams. They were rated 1 and 2 at the top of the league, you know, coming into this week. And that's not, and like that's on the power rankings, I should say, rated number 1 and number 2. So to see that happen, to see these teams, you know, be rated so highly, I still feel like these teams are still the best in the league, but let's see which one is better today, and it's 100x FFE. Is there any last things you want to say before we're going to end the stream and get a raid out to another caster?
Yeah. So as you were saying, it was an amazing series to be able to watch. Like you were saying, the number 1 and 2 team here. Amazing thing to be able to see. Two, I want to say similar play styles, maybe Evolve Skylight normally being a more well-rounded team, but seeing which one would come out on top. And especially seeing a 100x team, considering the last co-cast that you and I got to do together was in fact a 100x team, and Evolve Skylight, me just becoming the social media director for them. So it's definitely a good timing, good match for me to watch also in terms of that. But I always appreciate you having me, and it's always a good time and good stream. Always good matches and good experience that I have with you.
Of course, and thank you so much for joining as well, TGCS. You guys can book him for some of your matches in the Ascension Cup, the Apex Cup, anywhere in the Ascent Tournament Series. He's one of our verified casters. So thank you guys so much for joining in. Chas is still putting in some bits in chat because why not? He's celebrating out here as a great series. We're gonna get a raid going. Thank you all so much for joining. Let's play a stream. We'll see you guys in another day.